Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, January 31st, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Monday, everyone. Before we get to the charts, I do want to invite you to join me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for our monthly market outlook. We roll over to February tomorrow, and after the first trading day of the month here, we will do another monthly market outlook. We'll discuss the charts, what to look for here in terms of a potential bottom and potential targets up ahead. We're going to talk crypto, we're going to talk futures and stocks as well. This is going to be one that you do not want to miss. So join me tomorrow for our PivotBoss monthly market outlook at 4 p.m. Central Time. All right, let's take a look here at the ES. You'll notice right now the ES is sitting right at the previous week's close price, right at or near the previous week's high, and it has developed a very narrow range heading into today's trading. So right now there's 31% of average range, 42 points of range, and it's been averaging 163 points of range just over the last week alone. So very narrow range at the top of the previous week's highs and previous week's close. Now in a downtrending market, the tendency is for bears to trap above the previous week's close for a shot at returning back to the previous week's midpoint, which is 43.29.5, and then a shot at seeing a reversal all the way across the range to the previous week's low, which is 42.12.75. So again, to start the week with a bit of strength here or a push higher into that high and close and fail would suggest a pullback at least to the midpoint of last week's range. Again, that's 43.29.5. So watching right now to see if we get that failure. 4,400 is going to be a key level to watch. 43.90 as a downside level early on would suggest a pullback. Otherwise, holding above 4,400, we could see range-bound action until directional bias is seen. If we take a look here at the NQ, again, similar price action here where the price of the NQ is sitting right above the previous week's close in a downtrend. We are also seeing price stay just below the previous week's high as well. So it's in that space between the close and the previous week's high. And another narrow range, trading just 34% of average range, 193 points, and it's been averaging 671 over the last 5 days. So narrow range coming into today's session. The one thing to keep in mind is that in both cases, we're still within a very well-defined 5-day trading range. So this is the 6th day. So again, if there's a failure to get going through the previous week's high and close, it'll be hard not to see this thing come back to the midpoint of the range, which is 14,172s, and then a shot to go across the range toward the low of 13,706. So again, we're still in a range-bound market and very, very narrow ranges right now heading into the RTH Open. A failure to hold 14.4 could begin to open up a return back toward 14,172, the previous week's midpoint. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. Now looking at crude again, one of the things that we continue to notice is how strong this trend has been. You can see the bullish Pima trigger zone has been ascending at a very healthy pace. The 8-period average here, anytime price has gotten below it, it has closed back above it by the end of the day, and we've seen continued rotations out of this range with modified Pima crossover buy signals, which are highly confirmed buy signals in a bullish trend. So right now what you're looking at is a very narrow range over the last several days. Higher highs here still being made almost into 90. Again, as we head into the new month of trading, we're going to have a new pivot range for the month. And this is a higher value relationship with a confirming close, which means to begin February, if we see any pullback into this pivot range, it could be a highly confirmed buy opportunity for a push higher into 92.5 and then 96s up above. So again, any pullback could be an opportunity to buy this thing early next month. Right now we're range bound with the potential to see further upside ahead. All right, let's take a look now at Bitcoin. You'll see Bitcoin right here has continued to hold above that strong low that developed on 124. Again, what I mentioned is when you see that type of low develop in a very bearish market, a strong downtrending market, there tends to see the stops come out at some point. This could be another one of those cases where we've been holding for a while and soon the stops come out, or we've been holding a while on this low and the stops come out. So we may see a push downward, again with the bias of the trend right now. We have a lower bias, lower value relationship with the pivot range right here. You have your previous close. Any push into this zone could be seen as a selling opportunity early next month, and we drop down through the previous month's low and toward that 30,000 level, which could ultimately be a fantastic buying opportunity. 30,000 back to 45, back to 60, and perhaps across the range to 75.90. So again, right now, still in a very bearish downtrend. We would have to see price recover the previous month's midpoint next month in February here at 41.38. So if it can get through that zone and hold it, that's what will change the bias of this trend. All right, let's take a look here at Ether futures. This one is up 1.8%, whereas Bitcoin is down 1.3% right now. This one looks a bit different. Again, very similar in that the downtrend has been intact. Very similar in that it had a strong low and it's been holding ever since, but a bit different in that it has been pushing higher the last several days, now trying to work toward the midpoint of this previous rejection. But the downtrend remains firmly intact, sell signals along the way, the bearish Pima trigger zone. As we head into the new month of trading, this is your new pivot range coming into February. It's lower than last month's pivot range, which is way up there, which means any bounce could still be seen as a sell for a shot at prices below 2,200 in that recent low. That could ultimately lead to a great trap and a reversal back up toward the previous year's close down the road. So right now, still trending downward, but still showing signs of strength here at the moment. As soon as price is able to recover 27.50, it opens up a great move again back across the range toward 4K. But do we need one more shakeout phase down towards 17 first? Perhaps we do. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the new week of trading. Again, please join me tomorrow for our PivotBoss monthly market outlook for February 2022. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, using the Zoom link below. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your morning, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.